Let the chaos reign.
Chaos Reign presents The Grey Regime with Guest Cerulean Grey. Broadcast December 29th, 2019. Enjoy.
The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
In a world where there's crime, corruption, rape, murder, death, and all other forms of atrocity that plagues the world in which we live in today, what you witnessing, we're living in a state of chaos, and it'll take a much greater or much extremer chaos to restore the order in which the world we live in today. Good evening, Black people. This is Chaos here tonight. It's going to be a very interesting stream to, I would say, conclude of this decade and moving on to a brand new decade. And one thing is clear. Going into this new decade, I foresee many things. Not just me mentally dreaming, but I have a feeling this will be the decade that's coming that will pretty much change America, how we look at America moving forward in this now generation, or what we call the 20 years into the 21st century. From here on in, what we always think is going to happen here in the West, it didn't happen now, but it sure will, potentially will happen in this decade coming out. So it'll be interesting what waits us in the 2020 era, or 2020 decade that's approached us. Or like most of your pseudo or good scholars say, you're going to soon see 2020 vision where everything is clear. But nonetheless, I would like everybody to go to Talk Real Solutions. In TalkRealSolutions.com, you see a 3-point plan for Black empowerment, Black achievement. And under the 3-point plan, you see a list of Black established-owned banks located here in the United States of America. And I believe there's still 30 banks located here in America, hopefully, God willing. And depending where you at on the map here in this country, if you have not invested into a Black bank, wait for it. Go ahead and invest in it. Hold on. Also, on the website, I would like for everybody to look at and donate to the Talk Real Solutions if you can. Donate as well as $5. Anything will help to keep the lights going. There's also latest articles, news, and everything that is pertaining to what's going on in the world is also on TalkRealSolutions.com. So check the website out. The website's pretty good. I'm not sure if Mr. Tyrone Thompson's there. Are you there, Tyrone? If you're there, please let me know. Also, you could also find us on YouTube as well. Talk Real Solutions on YouTube. You can type up Talk Real Solutions. You'll find that nice little line. It's the representation of Talk Real Solutions. You'll find every broadcast that's been done up to this point in 2019 and a little way back. We have shows that streams from 6 to 7 days a week. So if you miss a broadcast, most of all the recordings are on YouTube, so you can go back and, go back to all the good shows that you might like, including my show as well. And, I also have a channel, Chaos Reign, and I also have most of the episodes onto this platform, onto my channel as well. So you're not going to miss much of anything right now. If you missed it here, you can also go to my actual YouTube page. I put some of the uploads as well as this stream as well. What else I'm trying to think of? Oh, wow. The slideshow is pretty nice. I give Tyron Thompson credit for this. So I think I said everything right now. I'm going to double check, see if I get in contact, see if everything's good. So be patient for a second, people. Okay. I'll do some talking a bit while we wait. And let me see if anybody wants to call in. The call number for tonight's show is 712-770-4160. The access code is 915-411#. I repeat, 712-770-4160. Access code 915-411#. Let me do a little talking a little bit as we wait. If I didn't say what I had to reflect on this year, a lot of things has been, it's really been a learning year from what I could learn through social media and throughout YouTube space. I've noticed that one of the few things with a lot of people that does content on YouTube, there is some form of financial gain to come about using this platform if used properly. But I feel the way how people go about to gain some financial resource off of this, they're doing it in a very much degenerate way. Now, I'm not telling how people should do their thing in regards to making money around here, but there are more constructive things to do in regards to get the message and still get the support at the end of the day. I mean, because let's be honest here, mostly that are non-white that does content on YouTube and probably does things on podcasts or other social media outlets. The challenge that most people face is to get what we call an audience. Now, sometimes the audience that come across these pages will, if they like the content, they will support it willingly without no ask. Or if they don't find the content any good, they'll express it through either a dislike or a message, a comment particularly, after every audio recording or upload video. Either way, people respond and they take on to the information or message personally, either they like it or not. And I know most people in the human brain is very unique, that it experiences either happiness or sadness. And any time they come across any information, that's one of the things they feel. Either it's going to make me feel good, happy and all this, joy and stuff, or it's going to feel miserable, mad, angry. One or the other. There's not no gray area. No in between. So when it comes to a lot of people that makes any form of material here in the digital space we call it internet, yes, you could be mindful on what you do, but then again, you should never water down yourself just to get an audience. You should always be real with yourself and what you bring out in your material. Always, because people, most times they won't believe it or not, they like to deal with real people. They don't like always the fakeness. If they've come across and find that you're a person that is not living what you do, then they will look at you as other and fake and imposter. And obviously, you know what they do. They will sometimes don't want nothing to do with you. They will unsubscribe. They'll whatever case, unfriend, whatever you want to call it, with you, and be looking for the next hive or the next fix, I like to call it. So, me finding so far in this whole year that that's what has it boiled down to. There was so much flagging. There was so much reporting through other outlets of what people are, saying or putting out here. It becomes ridiculous. And to me, I don't approve it because I'm not a fan of suppressing what we like to call free speech, if there's such a thing. And really, to me, to be fair with y'all, there's nothing really free in the world. There's always something that there's a cost, And a lot of us don't really see it now, but we eventually will see it down the line. I think one of the weaknesses a lot of people don't know when it comes to human beings is that we like to take things for granted. We get very spoiled in the things we take for granted. See, example of that is like we take granted of food, water, certain material. And no one's saying that somebody took that thing to make out of nature or something artificial to give to you. And how you use it, you sometimes abuse it. Just like people, depending on what state you live in, some people don't want to pay for, let's say, a bag or any form of paper or plastic bag now. Because certain states, they tax people if they grocery shop, they have to pay for that bag to put their food or groceries in it. And a lot of people don't like that, knowing that the little small tax in it is nothing. It's really chump change if you think about it. But because people have been indulging something that was so free for so long, they get in their feelings. Some people say, I don't want to do that. But, you're taking your own research, invest in things that is sometimes not good for you. And normally food, ironically, is a necessity. It's one of three areas: food, clothing, shelter. So, even with the taxation alone, it's not a big deal, but a lot of people they take it for granted that because they had it for free so long, they've been conditioned to feel that I'm entitled for this. And that's not really the case, because nothing's free, like I said. Same thing with, what else people take for granted? They take for granted good people, And unfortunately, when there are good people that's good in your life that helps you grow, prosper, and is able to stay with you through the ups and downs, a lot of people take that for granted. And I'm saying when a person is being used improperly and they feel they're being taken for granted, they just do like anything else. They just walk away. And, some people that have friends like that walk away, that's been down for them for the start or supported them, they feel sad, well, I don't need you. I can do all bad by myself. They have an arrogance to it, but down the line when things get real rough, and they do, they always want to come back on their knees, crawling and begging for assistance. But it's funny how the world really works in that manner, where that's how people operate. You know, they don't see what is a good thing until it's no longer there. And I think, Mr. Charles Faulkner, you know what I'm talking about, right? Right, sir? Are you still there? Yeah. It's very sad. And I think that's one of the things that I could take away from this year as well. I think one of the things I would say moving forward into this new decade with, like I said, with the streams and some of the shows I do move forward, I'm going to try to bring in more people to talk about certain issues than I did this year. And I could be wrong. I might have brought in more people this year than last year. I could be wrong. MJ, if you could correct me, because you've been following me for the start. I'm not sure if you noticed throughout the whole year, sweetie, if I have brought in more people or guests to talk about certain issues that plague society and our communities. And as we wait, let me do this. Okay. As I said before, I will try to bring in more dynamic type guests. If I pronounced that right. I think one thing I'll probably focus a little more, maybe more of the economic side, moving forward in this new decade. I'm not sure it's going to help. Really, MJ, like, regular guests, like people I have come in, called in to, on certain topics on my stream. That's what I'm trying to say, MJ. I could be wrong because nowadays I don't keep track of how many people I bring in every year on T.R.S. I might start doing that now, just for the sake of this keep a record. If I, brought in more interesting people on here to discuss the issues, and always try to go a little bit more step further. That's the one thing I'll try to maybe accomplish more in 2020. Other things that I will maybe try to might do is, I don't know. I guess get some different equipment for the things I'm trying to do. I might do that too. I'm not sure. Like I said, most people can hear me through this device right now. I might just get and set my microphone properly, which I have ready. I don't use too much because when I have people come in, it's a little bit funny. But I might just get a mic. I might use my microphone more often to make it more seem like a radio show. As y'all know, I get comfortable using the device, the computers and stuff with the mic already in it. But I might just incorporate a mic for the sake of conversation to make this sound quality better. That's something I might do. Also, and really truly, what y'all that's right now watching right now, y'all want to see me do a little more in the new decade, or I could say in 2020 with this platform. For those who's watching right now, I'm reading your comments right now to see what you want me to do more. And like I said, I think I do enough on here. Maybe I should do a little more. I don't know, because I feel when I get the feedback, whether on this platform or on my own platform, it's not enough information to really do a necessary tweak of my, my shows. Because walking in blind, I'm going to come out even more blinder. That's why I always harp on feedback. If you look at, people don't understand the purpose of feedback. It's like you work in your job. And every time you do a task, you get a regular progress report to know how well you did. So when you get the feedback, you know what to do differently to improve the quality so you can get more performance and efficiency throughout, the people that's, catering to, to the, or actually, to cater to y'all. But yeah, that would be probably the direction I would probably take it moving forward. And also, as y'all know, it is an election year next year. And right now, and I'm going to say this because a lot of people will get offended, I see that Mr. Trump is going to do 4 more years in office. Besides what I'm hearing about rumors of impeachment. And the reason I'm telling y'all this, because no president right now in history, in this country, that this country right now is officially 243 years old. Have any president has been actually impeached completely out of office. And I don't see Mr. Trump being that president being impeached. And let's say if it does happen, then he'll be the first throughout the inception of this country. And this country is only 2 centuries old. And to be honest with you, a lot of people say whether he's doing something good or not. It's irrelevant because every time when a new person takes into the office, all they do is tweak where direction this country is going. Whether they're going to tank this country or they're going to let it stay above float for another couple of years or a decade or 2. That's it. You forgot America is the broad, the body, the bulk, the muscle of what we call a supremacist system. So, like I said before, I don't see him getting out of office anytime soon, because most of the average presidents since 1992 have did full terms as a president in office in this country. You have not known one president that did less than 4 years in that office. Since they start implementing, put in those terms, because one time, decades ago, I think it was Roosevelt, I don't know if people can correct me, he was the only oldest president that stayed as president for, years on years, until he died. That's when they started to change how long you stay in office, which really is a good move, because I feel in my mind no president should be president forever. No, we can't have that, because if a person could stay in office forever or until they die, that is a form of a serious dictatorship. Can now say he could sit there in his will and rule amongst the whole collective of people without no rebuttal, without being kicked off, without being, impeached out of that seat. And no man or woman that's going to be a president or a future president should have that power amongst this so-called corporate country, this nation we call America, or any nation outside America. We're not China. And the only reason why people let their president, Mr. Xi Jinping, be because they don't understand the ramifications of letting somebody rule and for the remainder of their lives. As you know, any person that takes on a seat of power, it can hurt you. It drains you as a being. It makes you more stressed. It put pressure on you. A lot of people know that. A good example is this. Look at Obama. Obama went in there at age 48, I believe. 47, going on 48. And he came out of there with gray hairs. Now, people say that he's already in his 50s. That's why. Maybe so. But if you look at when he looked now, compared to then and now, that presidency will stress the hell out of you. You know? Not only the media he has to concern about, but just the regular people in this country. So being president for the remainder of your life, or president for life, it's not a good move right now for any person that is not a kingship, heirship. Normally people that's kings and queens possibly could maybe do it. I say possibly. But the average person that's never been a king or queen, and usually president is somewhat close to that, not like that, but somewhat close to that, you can't handle the stress. It's too much a burden. So, you know, it's a good thing that we have people that do terms, 4-year terms, and I'm hoping it stays like that. I'll say I'm hoping. Who knows? All right, let me look at something. Mm-hmm. So, like I said before, I am looking forward for 2020. I'm sure everybody else is. And, you know, because we live in America, we have to subscribe to this so-called calendar. Let's go backwards as calendar. You know, it is what it is. Another thing, if I haven't really said before, the Son of Man? What's that, MJ? Okay, I see it. Okay. Well, I was talking for myself. Did I ever bring a woman as a guest this year, MJ? Since I mentioned many people I brought in. I'm trying to remember, did I have a woman in here? No, I don't think I brought no woman as a guest this year. Now I think about it. I could be wrong. I got to go back in the archive. No, actually, yes, I did. I brought Miss Priscilla Clark. Yes. A wonderful sister. I might bring her back in future shows. I do want to talk about some other things. And when it hurt, bring her back. I think one of our weaknesses. One second, people. Okay. My guest should be arriving any minute now. So once he arrives, I'll tell y'all tonight's show. One last thing I will say. for inspiration for the youth that will listen to this broadcast in the future. Whatever you do in life, and you have no direction, or you feel life could be very difficult as a man, know this: the road to the road to finding yourself for your own self-preservation and your own prosperity and your own freedoms and whatever it leads to as a man, as a manly man, you must understand it's never going to be easy. The system that you in, or any system you play or you take part in, is lying to you. It will not give you that comfort. It will not make your life as a manly man easier. And it should not make it easy because you are first. You're original. You're the ones that you are the originators and the ones that keep this earth going, functioning, moving. Look at the inventions you create, even if you're not aware of it or not. The things that you take for granted was created out of your mind. And that form it and is presented freehand or any other means because you created through your thoughts. So, know that, as you go through this journey, it's not going to be very easy. You're going to be frustrated. And I expect the frustration is going to take you. But say that if you are doing this alone, don't think like that. Always take on this journey with your head high and, keep striving and push on. That's the only short message I can give you for now. So, no further ado, Mr. Gray, if you press *61, I'll see you on the board. Okay, tonight's show, I present to you, tonight's stream is Chaos Reign presents The Grey Regime with Guest Cerulean Grey. So I welcome again to Talk Real Solutions, Cerulean Grey. Greetings, Cerulean Grey. How are you doing?
Well, greetings, esteemed Chaos.
Yes, good. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming back again for this conclusion of another year, or I should say a decade, and we soon step it into a brand new decade.
Indeed.
If you want to give a little quick background for those who are listening tonight, for the first time.
I am Cerulean Grey, the sitting leader of the Grey Regime and the co-crafter of the Grey FAULKNER Initiative.
Okay. All right. Now on to the matter of things. Before I ask my question, now that we ended this year, what can you say, or you could take reflections of 2019 from your eyes, amongst other people, Black Americans?
So what can I take as a reflection?
Yeah, like from your eyes, what you could say looking back now, or what our people in our state and our condition as right now in 2019 as a reflection.
Well, one is that we are in desperate need of therapy. These tools that we use for media communications, they operate like a double-edged sword. I mean, for some people, they use it as a type of therapy, as poisonous as some of it may be. But I think that it's brought the worst out of black folk.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a powerful tool that can be used for mass organizing, that can be used for institution building, that can be used for group economics. It could be used to produce a means of awareness for black folk. And what is done is literally become a thorn in our side. This is a part of the effect. We have too many scammers. Let's see, when I say scammer, I'm not talking about the traditional way that you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the snake oil salesmen and the charlatans.
Mm-hmm.
You see, snake oil salesman keeps telling you that this is the cure to your problem. There are no cure-alls. That this is all you have to do. There is no this is all you have to do. Everything that you have to do, you must do it on a regular and consistent basis. There is no cure-all. There is no shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we look at this this phenomenon with red pill ideology, MGTOW, SYSBM, and all of this garbage. Well,
Mm-hmm.
these are dudes telling you that this is a cure-all. Just stay away from women. They're telling you to stay away from women wholly from their perspective because they don't know how to communicate effectively with women. And because they fail, and because they can't figure it out, they tell you, this is what you got to do. This is your cure-all. Here's your bottle of snake oil.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
this media apparatus has brought the worst out of black folk.
Mm-hmm.
The system of racism and white supremacy doesn't have to do a thing because it's already ingrained on their mind. It's already branded on their mind.
Mm-hmm.
The Negro is operating on autopilot. You have a falsely manufactured gender divide. The derelict Negro male has found a way to sell bullshit at a profit. Told you that you don't have no community. Told you that you don't have a culture. Told you that your women are all fucked up. Told you to save yourself. And yet not one of them has ever told you with any certainty what's on the other side. See, you notice with all these guys that advocate for going to other groups of women and men,
Mm-hmm.
and see, I don't really blame the women, but I do blame the men. Because if you notice, the men are acting like women. See, when the female swirlers whenever they mix out, and then they come back and talk about divesting, you notice they only talk about the good side of white men. They don't talk about the bad side. They don't talk about the downside. That's to be expected.
Okay.
For a man, that is never to be expected. For a man, that is never to be acceptable. But they're acting just like the women. Notice when the derelict Negro male, he dates outside of his own group. He procreates outside of his own group. He only tells you the good side. Just like the women do.
Mm-hmm.
That's childish. That's feminine. And see, when I say, look, you're just acting like a woman right now. You act like a bitch. Which is something worse than a woman. Right?
Yep.
Suddenly there's this claim that I'm trying to shame them and cajole them.
Mm-hmm.
Into staying on the quote-unquote plantation.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it really? They're looking for a shortcut. They're trying to get around having to deal with the competing group of men. They're trying to create a quick fix to getting around the competing group of men. They told the black woman that she has to compete for black men now. You see, the black man doesn't want to compete.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the white man is competing. But you don't bring no smoke to the white man. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Our failed relationships, our failed family unit, failed family structure, poor childhood outcomes, all created, all orchestrated, crafted by the white man. No smoke. But say you're not reading your children ain't reading at grade level. Yes, that's bad. And that was created by the white man, but they ain't got no smoke. But you'll put it on the shoulders of that black woman, who you also abandoned. Mm-hmm. Left to hold your defective seed in failure. While you ran around being derelict. Mm-hmm. You haven't been held accountable. You really haven't been held accountable. Child support is not being held accountable.
Child support is the easy way, but it's not held accountable.
I'm just gonna say it. You have the black man ain't been held accountable for shit. Mm-hmm. Child support ain't being held accountable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Child support is not being held accountable. Because at the end of the day, that child has a poor outcome. Yes, that failure is yours as a black man. You want to blame the black woman, but that failure is yours. You stuck your dick up in her. You wanted the pussy, but you didn't want the responsibility. But you know that sex leads to babies. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put that failure on the black woman. See, this is where I'm at with it now. See, before I would go straight down the center. There's blame on both sides. There's black women to blame right here, and there's black men to blame right here. I'm at the point to where the rhetoric has advanced so far to where now we have to look squarely in the eyes of this black man and say, we are to blame.
Mm-hmm.
The failure of this community is our fault. And the derelict Negro male is too scared to admit it. This is where we're at in 2019. The derelict Negro male doesn't want to be held accountable. He's acting like a bitch right now. Never once did he be introspective and self-reflect. That may be the reason why your black woman can't be held accountable, because you won't even hold yourself accountable. The only failure is that in leadership. So maybe if you showed some fucking leadership, show that you could be the bigger man, put this down. The onus is on us. Period. That's where we're at with it. Because what you got is a lot of niggas that have failed at life. And they don't want to see that young man succeed and have a healthy relationship, have something that he couldn't have with a black woman. Look at the system that we're in, where the derelict Negro male already brags about things that he has that others don't. And then he detests the Negro that has something that he doesn't. So if that's the mindset that we live by, what makes you think that the derelict Negro male wants to see that young black man in a healthy and productive relationship with a black woman? Because he's a failure himself.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want you to have what he couldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. And it's funny.
Look at everybody that's spewing it. Look at all the leaders. Look at all the people that have been the most outspoken proponents of the shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Examine their lives, and all you see is pervasive failure.
This is
back
true.
to back to back to back.
This is true. Is this true?
And they'll tell you that they're so logical. They'll tell you that they're so introspective. They'll tell you that they're this, that, and the third, but they will never admit that they were fucking failures.
Do you feel the shame of admitting failure is to any man of guilt that there are shortcomings?
No, an admission of failure is necessary to push through the environment.
All right.
It is the only way you can learn how to do better. It is the only way you can learn how to become more effective. If you meet the failure, acknowledge this is where I failed, dissect it, and so you can realize or come to the realization of how to prevent that failure the next time, to make an effort to be better the next time. You notice how these niggas will constantly gamble on everything else. They gamble on the stock market. Niggas gambled on Bitcoin. Niggas about Bitcoin the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Cerulean Grey tells them, look, 2 years ago, telling these niggas, Bitcoin is a money trap. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Other than the fact that before Bitcoin became as big as it did, I knew about it back in 2010, 11.
Mm-hmm.
Back before when a Bitcoin was a penny. And you ask anybody that has dealt in Bitcoin, how much money have you actually made? How much money have you been able to withdraw? They haven't. They haven't been able to use that shit. Do you know the people that say, I was able to use Bitcoin? Do you know all they're doing is fucking promoting that shit so they can fucking try to sell it to the next great fool?
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's all it is. It's the greater fool. It's the greater fool theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do I pass on my debt? Well, I pass it on to the next great fool. I make the next great fool think that he's getting something when I'm actually giving him an incurred debt.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Oh, them Asians, where the majority of the Bitcoins are, they do it all the time. And then what they do is they create these little apps, right?
Yeah.
Then they promote these apps all over the place. They tell you, oh, you can mine Bitcoin, you can do this, and it's this much right now. And you know, and the next great fool is sitting there thinking in his mind, I could get rich quick by trying to play the Bitcoin market. And despite the fact that his money keeps getting dumped into that little app or to one of those programs, never seeing nothing out of it. All this keeps happening is that money just keeps circulating, and then it never comes back out. It goes in, nothing comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And the derelict Negro that plays on that Bitcoin shit, they keep playing it because they have the expectation that one day they're gonna strike it big in Bitcoin or in Ethereum.
Well, those days have been gone past, man.
Like, don't you know the stock market is that same way?
Yeah, it's up and down.
The stock market, all it is a passing of debt.
Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah. But, you know, it's funny you mentioned about all these outlets like Bitcoin and stock market. I know there's many advertising, promotion of these things through the internet for the past last year, beginning of this year.
Well, I want you to put it. I want you to understand it this way, right?
Yeah.
The way I just said about the Bitcoin, the way I just said about the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
America is that same way.
Okay.
We keep playing this game with America. Keep thinking that we're going to one day be rich. All we got to do is become better capitalists. We have so much faith in it. Listen to the way this derelict Negro male speaks. They ain't been talking about, oh, one day I will be a millionaire off this internet shit. Ain't become a millionaire yet. But it never stops him from making the effort to try to get as many viewers as he possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And then whenever it comes to his own community, which is sorely lacking around him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's over for that. It's done. You still have faith in the American motherfucking dollar, but the black community's done?
Mm-hmm.
You still got faith in the American dollar, but the black community's done. Are you fucking kidding me?
I tell you, you gotta be insane.
And what pisses me off the most is that some of these niggas are well aware of what's happening in international politics, geopolitics, when it comes to this American dollar.
Especially when it comes to the trade wars with China.
They got more faith in this white man's money than they do in themselves and their own community. Mm-hmm. That is a problem. If you're going to have that much faith in the dollar, the U.S. dollar, you better have that much faith in yourself and your community.
I agree. I definitely agree.
All things being equal, this dollar goes up, it goes down, and they don't think that the communities goes up and they go down. They have ups and downs in a community. Everything's not always just going to be a fucking utopia. But see, whenever I created, along with the esteemed Charles L. Faulkner Jr., when we created the Great Faulkner Initiative,
mm-hmm.
If you would have heard the way Charles speaks about the community,
Which he's on the line right now. If you want to open his line in a second after you finish.
This is why his name is co-authored on the Great Faulkner Initiative. It's a man that speaks highly of the community. There's ups and downs, yes. But there must be strong men in order to mitigate the downs. It's the only way that your children can see the sun.
Mhm. 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 And I think Charles is on the other line. So let me see if I can open this line a little bit. 1 second. Charles, is that you?
Right here.
Charles?
Hey, it's time it is. Kick it out.
Who?
You.
Yeah, open your line.
Woo. See, cancer here. Don't it feel good about men who save themselves that are saving the community? Yeah. What's up?
Indeed.
I said, can't you love it how selfish it is to save yourself, a black man? See, this is I'm not totally against that idea, but you save yourself, you're supposed to save everybody around you as well. See, you take away the sacrifice, which is the power and the responsibility of the male, when you just think about yourself, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you literally undermine your own authority. Oh, I'm going to save myself. And then you think that you're going to go to an adjacent community and be respected?
I cannot prop up another race of women over my own. But
hey, you remember that conversation? Charles? Remember that conversation?
Say that again?
You remember the conversation we had the other night about that?
You cannot do that and have people respect you. That's like, even if the women do it, are we supposed to fucking have periods too? No. Mm-hmm. Well, the women do it too. You're doing the same shit black women say about white women. Does it make it right? Here it is. Instead of coming on the chat yesterday, everybody wanted to beat up on the girl. I come up on there and tell her the facts about domestic violence in the black community. So you come up there, you got to be factual. You can't be emotional because all you're going to get is emotion. Save yourself. For what? What are you saving? Well, have you ever noticed, even when I was on Edward Anderson's thing, when I say, why don't you just work out and become a better man, get a better job, get more educated, get more skilled, become a more refined individual? You know, I was told, well, why should we have to do that? And you wonder why you're still at the bottom of the barrel.
Is that what he said?
Why should we have to do all that? Because you got to understand, Officer Faulkner. You got to understand, Officer Faulkner, you're an exception. And I said, I think you need to start being exceptional. Have you noticed the guys who look the best, who does the best jobs, who has the best careers, the best mind frame, get the best women?
Mm-hmm.
Not every Pookie and Ray Ray gets the best women.
Yep. It's true.
And then on top of that, it's unmanly to dick police another dude.
Mm-hmm. And I'm hearing that been used loosely to the dick policing nonsense. Somebody says, why are you talking about happiness? You're dick policing. All this whine and complain. I mean, God, you grow some balls, my nigga.
In the words of Ron Addison, you even complain about women so much you start to become one. How the hell is it that you're going to get women to basically listen to you when you're digging their tactics? How's that going to be possible?
Not possible.
I think the community is a great community. Does it have some shit with it? Yes, it does. What doesn't? You're either going to drive on, man the fuck up, and take control of it, or walk away.
Wait, Charles, they say the community is supposed to be free of blemish, free of any kind of problem or troubles. It's supposed to be a utopia for the black man. But they won't put in the work to make it a utopia.
You know why? You know why I love strength under struggle? Because you become single. You ever notice why women find men with gray hair in their beards attractive? Because they know he been through some shit, been some place. He won't let the littlest things in the world bother him. You know, there's some men who let their wives or their girlfriends do what they want, and those same men who give their wives and girlfriends a look. And you know what she'll do? She'll shut the fuck up because she has that much respect for him. You know, that man will give her a little leeway because he's unbothered. He doesn't have to say, well, prop up the Latino woman. And like I said before, when you prop up other women, you're not getting the best of the other women of any other race. So
Correct.
Yeah, what's happening is that the other group of women, right? They see that you got them propped up, and that's what's actually urging them to come over. They're not choosing you.
Yeah.
You're propping them up on a pedestal, and they see that, and now here they come, because they're not the men of their own group don't do that.
And you know what the crazy part about that is, really, you know how contradictory and ridiculous it is for a black man to be red pill for black women, but blue pill to every other race of women.
I find that very odd.
You don't even have the convictions to say, I'm going to keep it straight to everybody.
Don't even have the strength of character.
But the reason why they do it is because they are what they call it. They're being what's the word? With other groups of women. They're submissive. There you go.
See, they're the ones who are actually the submissive party when it's those other races of women. Because if you fuck up, there's other races of women coming after you. Here's my point. It's like last night when I was on BZS's and BJ was writing some stuff in the chat. Why you here, Officer Faulkner? Because I want to go where the fuck I want to go. Oh, why are you up here in these red pill spaces? Why are you in male spaces? I know why, because you're looking for a date. See, I hated that guys on here say they're red pill when they don't even get the shit correctly. See, number one, you have to be actually attractive for women to look at and to actually converse with to actually even be considered kind of red pill. You're just red pill because you're not attractive to women. Well, these women don't want me, so I'm red pill. Get the fuck out of here. You need a man to fuck up and lose about 250 pounds.
Yeah, we know who we're talking about.
But you know,
I tell you, man. Yeah.
But you know, you got a jackass like him questioning red pill ideology when first of all we question the sexuality.
Oh. Ooh.
See, you got to understand that you got guys like that who represent. If this is the best of your red pill community, I want shit to do with it. You can't even build your damn community, let alone a red pill one. Because what you're doing now is you're seeing people trying to placate for the incel dollar.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if we were talking about like real red pill, right? And I'll give white males this. White males have a right to be mad at their women because they built the system. They built the system that incentivized women in general. And now that their women are using the system they created against them, they have a right to be mad because they created the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black men, the only people we should be mad at is the white male. The only thing that we should be fighting against is the white male. The only thing we should have a bone with is the white male. Why? Because he created the system. And that system advantages specifically white women and disadvantages specifically black men.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you telling me you're gonna abandon your community because you're a bitch to go along with the white woman, right? Who's advantaged by the system, while you yourself getting no advantages from being with this white bitch.
It doesn't make you come up in the society. Let me say something, fella. Have you noticed a lot of dudes that, let's say they date out or they're exploring this option with another group of women, that it doesn't really improve their status in society? Have you noticed that? But
it never
really,
improves their status in society.
And not only that, but one woman admits that being with this group of male, the black male, kind of brings them down amongst other competing group of men in the society.
Yes, it does. Because the white woman is saying that she is well aware that she benefits in this system. And dealing with your black ass, she is well aware that she will be disadvantaged by the system dealing with you. That's what she's saying.
So, in conclusion, the white woman is aware what your plight, what our plight is as people in this country.
You don't got to explain shit. Listen to me, Chaos. You don't have to explain shit to a white woman about your fucking plight or anybody else. And the reason I'm saying this is because white women know that they're advantaged by the system. White women know that they are the biggest beneficiaries of the system. You don't have to explain anything to them. They're well aware of it. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's in the perfect position to deal with your ass. Mm-hmm. Because we already seen what the white woman does whenever she's done with you.
Yeah. And it becomes very suicidal. Dangerous. Messing with her is a risk.
Now, I'm not saying this as a warning to the derelict Negro male not to go over there. As a matter of fact, I think it's a good idea that they should go over there because we should start promoting them to go wherever they want. So whenever they end up in the DR, that's one less derelict Negro male that's in the community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why do we want non-productive males that act like women, that act worse than women in this community? See, women automatically get an out, and the reason why they get an out is because they're inseparably tied to the environment. There ain't no getting around it. The women cannot maneuver around the damn environment. They cannot oppose the environment. They're subject to it. And the reason why is because since the dawn of man, wealth has always passed from men to women. So in other words, women are basically waiting on men to pass them something, whether it be our daughters, our wives, right?
Yep.
Women have to depend on the men, whether directly or indirectly. They have to depend on men to create the damn environment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Women get that out. That's just what it is. That's what it's always been. Men never get that out. Do you know why men never get that out? Because they have the fucking ability to oppose the damn system, to oppose whatever is in their way, the environment itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you don't want to deal with your own environment. You don't want to landscape your own environment, manicure your own environment.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go into a foreign group of men, their environment. What I'm saying is that we should be actually advocating that they leave because that is less unproductive, derelict Negro males in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And then when what happens, that's it. Don't need to advocate for them. I mean, how many black men have to die because of some false claim to rape, of some false claim of you sitting there trying to do a house inspection because you have a license by the state and get the cops called on you, get beat up by the cops because a white woman said that you were a burglar.
Mm-hmm.
Get shot in your own house, minding your own business by a white woman because she knows that she's entitled to the black body. Because you gave her too much access, so much access, in fact, that she was able to walk into your house, blow you away, and have her white male protect her in the court system.
Mm-hmm. Bolton John, anybody?
Or not only that, but actually, how many brothers have to go through this situation where they meet a female in the bar, mind you, where it's supposed to be 21 and up, and then kiss a chick and find yourself 16, 17 years behind bars because you find out that she was underage, and instead of holding that bar accountable because that bar let this little underage chick in, didn't check her ID, which means that it actually broke state sanction for 21 and up. Not only that, but it actually is evidence that the bar was selling liquor to underage children.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But your black ass has to hold the failure in the bag because you thought that she was 21. You're in an environment where everybody is supposed to be 21, legal drinking age.
Yeah.
See, I'm at the point right now where I can give a fuck less about the plight of these grown-ass black men. The way I'm looking at it right now, our focus is literally 25 and down.
Yep, facts. I ain't gonna knock you on
25 and under. That's where our focus is at.
Mm-hmm.
And more critically, under the age of 18. That's where our focus is at. Now, if they're above 25 and we can work with them, we work with them.
But see, that's the point in principle. How does a man deal with an uncooperative, unsubmissive woman? He doesn't. You find one that is.
The same way a man deals with a non-cooperative man. He doesn't.
Or a derelict man.
A derelict Negro male, you're not dealing with that. Derelict Negro males get kicked out of the house by their fucking fathers all the time.
See, let's talk brass tacks. See, the problem with a lot of these incels, because we all know it's incel behavior, is that they want the chicks they're not good for. And because their eyes are bigger than their stomach. When Granddaddy told you that and Grandma told you that saying, when they finally get the chick, she's taking him like a joke. Taking all his money, now he's going to whine. Oh, well, she took me for all my money. These bitches ain't shit. She was telling you she didn't want you in the first place, but they couldn't take the damn man. Because you were too goddamn derelict.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to save yourself if you don't even have self-respect, self-esteem, self-preservation?
You think that's the one rule of nature, self-preservation? It
doesn't even have self-accountability.
All right, guys. Let me give the call number again. The call number for tonight's show is 712-770-4160. The access code is 915-411#. I repeat, 712-770-4160. Access code 915-411#. Tonight's subject, T.R.S. presents The Grey Regime with my guest, Cerulean Grey. I've noticed somebody wrote something here saying from the discussion, one dude said, this sounds extreme. And I guess they're not taking lightly of this message, Cerulean Grey and Officer FAULKNER.
I don't give a fuck if they don't like the message.
Mm-hmm.
That just lets me know that they're not to be worked with.
Yeah.
See,
and Big J, call in, please. I see you come right now. Go ahead.
See, because we're at a critical nexus, right? And I've been saying this for the better part of 3 years. 2 years before I even started making YouTube content. 10 years in the community, I've been saying this. If we don't fortify our position here, and I'm talking about men specifically, you are fucked. It don't matter what community you go into. This is why I advocate for black men joining the military, joining the police and serving their communities, the firefighters, EMTs, EMS, right? These are all domestic military organizations. Firefighters, that's domestic military. People don't know that. But all of their rites and rituals, their ceremonies, structured just like the military, even their rankings. Police, same thing. EMTs and EMS, same thing. Everything that you do in the military, the same thing that is just a mirror of what happens in civilian life. The only difference is instead of having hospital workers, you got mobile hospital workers. They're called field medics or corpsmen. Instead of firefighters, which have our Navy men. Every Navy man is a firefighter. Every Army man is a multi-purpose, a multi-role utility force multiplier. Every Marine is a rifleman. Every airman is a mechanic. Aren't those the same jobs that you have here in civilian life? Why do you think I advocate so hard for those? Because you can be a mechanic in real life, but see, the military gives you institutional power. Firefighters, institutional power. Police, that's institutional power. When we created the Great FAULKNER Initiative, we looked at the fiscal year budget. This is where the majority of America's money goes. Military, domestic military, i.e. police, firefighters, EMTs, EMS, emergency services. All of it is related. The difference is you need institutional power right now. Ain't no individuals in this game.
Nope. The day individual is dead. And we're not...
What has happened is that what has happened is that America has sold the Negro on this idea of individualism, and that shit has never worked for the Negro, ever. It has only helped create the problem we got now.
It actually creates derelict men, you think about it, because the individual mindset creates an environment what we see today. We got some sissies, Cerulean and Charles. Some of them said, it's the bad people in the community that caused the problem. Why don't they fix it? Sissy, you tell me you went in for somebody else to fix it?
See, the derelict Negro male is what caused the decline of the community. See, because when you know it's a derelict Negro male when he's trying to blame an imaginary group which we cannot see, right? An imaginary group we cannot see. We cannot quantify a Pookie and a Ray Ray. We can't quantify the ain't shit Negro. But we can quantify the derelict, and we quantify the derelict by making excuses for his own dereliction by blaming it on this imaginary Pookie and Ray Ray. by blaming it on this imaginary park ape.
Mm-hmm.
By blaming it on the gangbanger.
See, the part of it is this. How is the masculine, the non-masculine, going to blame the masculine? What's the difference? Do other races of people see a difference in you than the gangbanger, the drug dealer? No, they don't.
They only see that.
As a matter of fact, when they go to other races of women, they are actually playing off the worst images of black men. Because the real reason why these other groups of women really fuck with black men is because black men have always opposed the environment. That's why when they look at the way that we walk, the way that we talk, our style, our quote-unquote swagger, our public image, it's just so primal, gangsterish. So the derelict Negro male uses that image to go and finagle with other groups of women. And then what happens is just like in that video that Cynthia G played, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dude sitting up there trying to cajole this white woman into telling him that he's somehow better than the white male. And she's clearly telling this nigga, no, you're not better than the white male. I'm actually lowering myself to be with you, which is actually the proper way you play sexual politics with people outside of your group.
Facts. But
the white woman is playing the sexual politics right. The white woman was playing the sexual politics right. The derelict Negro male, no, he says the women of my group ain't shit. The women of these other groups, they're everything. Mm-hmm. And whenever you put that message out into the ether, of course you're going to have the buzzards of other groups coming to pick around on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they see that you're venerating them, whereas their own group of men don't even do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, something else I can speak to the white man's credit. See, the white man doesn't give a fuck about how cute a white woman is. If she's a whore, she's ousted. And what they determine as a whore is she race loyal? Oh, yes, she's not race loyal? She's a whore.
Okay.
She deals with men outside of white males? She's a whore. That's the way they look at that.
Okay.
They look at her, and if you really want to know about the real red pill that the white males espouse, it's really rooted in racist ideology. Because the way they see it is that the white woman is not submissive because what she wants to do is she wants to sit up on the dick of a non-white male. She wants to sit in the lap of a non-white male. And a white male sitting there looking around, seeing this white woman with the freedoms that he actually gave her to sit in the Latino man's lap, to sit in the Asian man's lap, to sit in the Arab man's lap, the black man's lap, everybody else's lap. They don't give a fuck how cute she is. Oh, you dealing with a nigga? You dealing with a Mexican? You're out of here. That's the way they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying to black men, ain't no reason to feel sorry for these niggas. Ain't no reason to have empathy anymore for these niggas. Let them do them. Whenever the devil collects his fucking due on these niggas and they start crawling back, and they always do. There's never stop. There's never stop happening. So these niggas dealing with these other groups of women, and then after the women do their ass dirty, they want to come crawling back. That's why you see them still talking this shit. Because they really want to keep their foot in the community. Because just in case shit don't go so great over there with the white folks, they want to have an attachment to the community. What I'm saying is, so fuck that. Let them go, and don't leave the door open for them whenever they get treated dirty.
Cerulean, let me take this one caller. They waiting patiently. All right, open line. Who's this?
Oh, Big J here. So
Okay.
I gotta ask this question. I'm gonna ask this question then to Cerulean and also to Charles. Okay, can y'all please explain to me the brain drain and what started the brain drain of the black community?
Well, actually, I've actually mentioned this on a Nyla Says panel. In the military, specifically of the Navy, right? When we would hit a port, we'd be encouraged to go out and sleep with the locals, have fun, right? Explore your options. There's a 3-part process in this, right? The first part of that is is to relieve the pent up angst of naval warfighters, because the last place that America wants the guns turned is on itself. And how do you do that? Well, you encourage them to go out there and sleep with the locals, have fun, get your booze and your whores, and then you come back refreshed. The second reason why they encourage us to do this is because it demoralizes the men of that country. It has a demoralizing effect on the men. And what happens is the men, they get so riled up, they get so angry, they will literally throw acid in the faces of their women. They'll cut the breath off of their women. And what happens is it creates an international event where America can once again play the good guy. And it looks like we're liberating this country. Right? The third reason why is the only way that America and its interests can gain access to the resources that America and its allies consume is if the population of that country is completely demoralized. Because once the men rile up and starting to buck up against us, now we have justification to shoot them down like wild dogs in the street of their own country, mind you.
Damn.
When I said this on Nyla Says panel, everybody was silent. And the reason why I was saying this is because I'm giving you a compare and contrast to the way the black community is right now. You see? So to answer your question, it is a demoralizing effect. That is what it is. We are a greatly demoralized people. We want to talk about morality, but we don't talk about the demoralization process. How did we get here? Because we keep trying to create these workarounds from having to deal with a competing group of men, which are white men. Isn't that what the white man does?
Well, from what I gathered is this. What I see is somewhat of a brain drain when some people within the community are being ostracized out of it because some people are talking white. That person's been ostracized out of the community because that person is talking white, or that person doesn't have the same interest as the next black person, and therefore that person's not black enough. So,
let me ask you this real quick.
You and Charles did not explore on that option. That's why I had to call in because I was talking on that angle.
Let me ask you this. Do you know why there's a brain drain going on in Africa? Do you know why there was a brain drain?
No. I'm not talking about Africa. I'm talking about the United States.
No. See, yeah, we're talking about the United States. Yeah, we're talking about the United States, but Africa is pertinent because we're living in a global system. There's the reason why there's a brain drain in Africa, a brain drain in the Caribbean, a brain drain in South America. The reason why is because that very thing that I was just talking about encourages that brain drain. See, when we go around the country, go around the world and demoralizing other groups of people, they start looking at us, right, as somehow better than their own groups of people. And next thing you know, if you can't subvert them on their own territory, what America has done is invite them in. And what America did, especially with Africa, is they invited the best of the best in. That's why the Nigerian can come here and excel. One, they're propped up on policy, but they're not just getting any old Nigerian. They're getting Nigerian engineers, Nigerian software programmers, Nigerian app developers. Whenever it's the same thing for the Chinese until the trade war, right? You're getting the best of Chinese people, app developers, programmers, software developers, all because of the way that we've demoralized their countries to make their women think that we are better than their group of men because we've been able to impose on them. That is what the white man has basically done to the black community here domestically. It has imposed on us as a group of men and has made the women think that they are better than their own domestic group of men.
Well, I gotta say though that it goes both ways. See, there is no going. It goes both ways.
Here's the problem. There is no going both ways.
Yes, it is, Cerulean. It is go both ways.
We only think
how many times, though, man? No, hold on. Let's talk about what happened on Shade 2-3 weeks ago, a week or so ago. Somebody said, "Well, don't fucking white."
I don't watch that Shade, so I don't know.
Since when somebody is talking, since when somebody's talking proper English is considered talking white. Now, if you don't sit there and see, it goes both ways. You got the people who are more hood trying to determine somebody else's blackness. That's something that you and Tom ignore.
No, see, here's the problem.
There is
no going both ways.
Yes, it is.
And the reason why is because the onus is always on the men. The onus is always on the men. No matter what the women are doing, your job is still the fucking same whether you have the women or not.
I'm not even talking about. I ain't talking about the women. What you talking about? I ain't talking about the women. I'm talking about the nature of how some blacks treat other blacks who they think are superior than others. So therefore, we got to ostracize them out the community.
I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way, right? I'll put it this way. Is there such thing as a talking white? Nigga, you speak English. You already talking white. What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the verbiage. I'm talking about the cadence. I'm talking about the vocabulary.
Let's talk about the cadence, right? That nasally accent that derelict Negro males like to use to pretend that they're something that they're not. You know, they talk with that nasally accent. That's what they mean by talking white. Because they think that that's the proper way to speak English.
So how you going to tell somebody how to speak those Cerulean?
See what I'm saying? When you hear people saying talking white, now, if I'm not mistaken, did you hear last year or the year before? You had niggas like Obsidian and them talking about you gotta speak the king's English. That's talking white. Now, there ain't been a fucking king in England since the goddamn early 1800s. So who the fuck here is using the king's English when nobody's even heard the goddamn king speak in order to fucking know what his English sound like?
Wait a minute. You're upset because people think you're talking white, right?
Oh, because your assertion is disingenuous because you know exactly what I'm referring to about talking white. You know exactly what I'm talking about when somebody say, well, you sound like a white person talking. Or, oh, man, look at you. Say what?
You're a man. You're a man, right?
Yeah, and what? Next?
Watch it what the next man says. And that's derelict within itself. If you're around somebody who says you're talking white, then you probably don't need to be around that motherfucker. Well, that's disingenuous because you want to be accepted by the whole group. See, last time I checked, a man stands on his own feet, 10 toes down to the ground. If you heard Cerulean and myself, if I died, if I speak and dialect, people would say, oh, you guys are talking white. But ask me if I give a fuck.
I mean, what was the last? Let's be real. What was the last king of England? George V. So yeah, I misquoted George V. So early 1900s. That's the last time there was a fucking king in England.
1953 when he died. Next.
George V. died at the age of 26. What are you talking about? No. Excuse me. My bad. A short reign on George VI. And he wasn't actually the king of England. He was the king of the United Kingdom. George V was the last actual king of England.
And he died in the early 20th century.
That's the early 1900s.
Early 1900s. Okay. Because after that, I think we have Queen Elizabeth.
He died just before. As a matter of fact, he died just before World War II.
Oh, and then Queen Elizabeth.
There's nobody alive. There's nobody alive. Not in England. Not in the UK. Not in America. Not in Canada. Nowhere in the world do they speak proper English. There's nowhere in the world where proper English is spoken.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about speaking white, we know we can stop pretending like we don't know what the fuck is meant whenever we say speaking white. When you hear the derelict Negro sitting there talking with this nasally accent that isn't real, and then the moment somebody riles him up, that nigga comes out of him, right? Then you get to hear the real him. So we know that it's all an act. So we can stop pretending like we don't know what speaking white is.
How you know this? Like you know this person or Cerulean?
Excuse me?
How you know the person who you say who has a nasally voice?
How many do you want me to name?
Well,
do you want me to name them by name, or do you want me to bullshit? Do you want me to name them by name, or do you want me to bullshit you and be vague?
Cerulean. The problem is, Cerulean, is that if somebody uses certain vocabulary words or certain cadence, that person is told he's not black enough.
Who says that?
No, it's saying they're not black. There's a mindset that comes along with the way that they talk. And that mindset is usually one that is negative towards black folk, that pathologizes black folk. That's what it means by speaking white. When you spew in 1980 Southern fucking Southern strategy era racist political drivel, right, at black folk with that nasally accent because you think that's the way white folks speak, right? That is what the fuck they mean by speaking white. When you running off at the mouth about some fucking out of wedlock birth shit from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s that has long been debunked, and no matter how many times Cerulean Grey or anybody else debunks them, the motherfuckers keep running off at the mouth about them. See, so obviously the derelict Negro with that nasally ass accent, the one that talks white, has a fucking learning disability. Because how many times, Big J, let's be honest, how many times throughout the years have you seen me debunk these niggas in real time after time, about their statistics, how they're skewed, how they're false?
Well, I'm not talking about the era of the
and then turn around and will spew off those same fucking talking points in that nasally accent because that's the way they think. This is obviously the way that white people talk.
Well, let's get one thing straight. I'm not on their
Big J.
But at the same time,
Big J, hello, guys. I gotta say something, Cerulean. My good friend Mr. Thompson said some way of feedback is making an odd sound as it talks, like a frequency. Can we correct that?
That may be Big J because that wasn't going on before.
Oh, let me check. I got to check because it's been going while you were talking. So let me mute some lines to make sure it's not that. I got to mute some lines. Wait a second. Yeah, it's you. It's some shuffling. The thing's back and forth like you move something. I'm not sure. Okay.
No, I can't hear it.
Okay, now it's gone. It's gone. That's what he said. He's hearing that in the background. Before I open the lines, let me open one new line. Caller, open your line. Who's this?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
All right, sit back. Let Big J finish. All right. All right, you continue, Big J. Because I opened on.
I actually forgot what I was about to say. So anyway, next.
All right. Oh, thank you. Okay. Like I said before, the language we speak is so-called English, but you know it's broken English. Even Europeans that you come across today don't even speak their actual dialect, unfortunately. So when another black man's talking about say, you're not speaking English, they're saying you gotta speak proper in front of white people. That's it. So
who has said that? I want to know who actually said that part. Explain that part. Who actually said we got to speak proper from white folks?
Since we want to name names, am I mistaken, or have we not heard Obsidian say this time and time again? You don't speak proper English. You got to speak the king's English. Like, nigga, you never met the fucking king. You never even fucking heard him speak. Oh, that's right. There's not a lot of video in which you can actually hear George V speak. If you've ever heard George V speak, you know that nobody even in England speaks proper English.
But George V is stutterbox. But anyway, it seems though you're glossing over the fact that how some men or some people, I should say, are being treated by the group that they're within, so therefore though they don't feel welcome in it. And I'm only calling in to be fair.
They're being treated the way they're being treated because instead of being fucking real, what they're doing is they're being fake. And what they're doing is they're using this fucking false persona of superiority that they think that they have to bash black folk over the motherfucking head with these ideas like low IQ, like proper English, and all this other goofy shit from the Southern strategy politics to try to make a case that it's the rest of black folk and not them. Code switching is a dysfunctional pathology, whether you know it or not.
Me, you have battled.
Code switching is a form of mental illness, whether you know it or not.
Well, I mean, me, you have battled Obsidian because Obsidian's the main one doing it, but I'm not referring to Obsidian though. I understand that we got people like Obsidian who sit there.
Who's gonna say game changer? Well, your game changer the way he speaks with that nasally accent. What I am saying is, but then when somebody makes them mad, we hear that nigga come up out of them, though, right? So in other words, black folk had a propensity to bring the fake out of niggas, and they get mad when they get exposed, and they say, "Oh, I feel ostracized." No, that's wholly your own feeling. And these are the same men that'll tell you that they're logical beings.
Let's sit here and establish this right now. I'm not defending them. Let's get that out the way. I'm not defending them. At the same time, though, No, how can I defend them when I was criticizing them too for the past few weeks? The only problem I got was this whole talking white shit, and I'm trying to be a little bit more fair on this. But anyway.
I see. Okay. All right. JYC, what's good, brother? You have any questions?
Yeah, I think I got all lost in what was going on, but I heard two things. I don't know if this matters or it's worthy, but Shakespeare. So is that excluded as far as like theatrical, theater settings, as far as recreating or reenacting those times, because we do have that in that format. If it's outside of that and you're talking about in general, I would agree and say nobody really speaks like that to a certain degree, but you still do have people in parts of Ireland and England that have a deep accent and they speak almost like that or closer to it. And then the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, there was a movie that he was in. I forgot the name of it. Maybe one of you guys can, name the title. But he was it wasn't Shakespeare, but it was like some ghetto Shakespeare. But they was reciting
Romeo and Juliet.
Shit. I forgot the name of the movie, but
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, there you go. Romeo and Juliet. But what was it? Is something else? Was it Romeo and Juliet, or that was just it?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
It was somebody else, but it had a title before that saying Romeo. But you said you got it right. So Romeo and Juliet, they was reciting that, I guess, trying to emulate what it would be here in modern times. But if you say that people don't speak that as a normal way of speaking, yeah, you're correct to a certain degree. Most people ain't going to speak like that. But if you go back into, certain parts of the country in England and Ireland, you will hear remnants or things that are closer to that. And even in the parliament to a certain degree. But, times has changed and it's a little bit different. But I don't know what else y'all guys was arguing about or going back and forth, so I'll sit back. I'm enjoying the show. Keep it going, Gary.
All right. Thank you. Yes. And moving forward, another question I do want to ask, in regards to, and to let people know, Cerulean Grey and Charles Faulkner on the line, they have completed the Grey Faulkner Initiative PDF, and I will post it on the link here for you to look and read for yourself. It was, I guess, a year in the making, but the PDF is out now for people that want to know what the actual initial strategy moving forward for black youth and black people in general. One thing with the Grey Faulkner plan that's written out, in its essence, this plan is like anything that's been laid out. It's going to be always constant tweaking to find something that really fits the need for us as a community. Am I right, Cerulean?
Indeed.
Okay. Does the plan right now, as it's presented, has anything that women could do right now in regards to for the betterment of their sons, or what roles they could play in helping us as a collective?
They can focus on making the Department of Education their institution. See, because there's this whole thing. I keep hearing this whole thing. You can't sit on one hand and complain about them not reading at a grade level, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, tell them take your kids out of white schools. Like, out of white schools? So you're basically saying that you're giving white folk the permission?
The monopoly?
Yeah, the monopoly to basically steal your money and then use it and say that the schools are theirs and not yours. You basically rob yourself of your own Americanness. How stupid is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Hello, Shard. How you doing? Yeah, it does make sense.
Well, I never got that myself. Like, you take them out of white schools, but you're still giving them your money. You're still going to give the people that you're diametrically opposed to your money, and they're still going to use it against you.
Sure.
But yet, nobody wants to go to PTA meetings. Nobody wants to have meetings with the teachers or the principal. Anybody in administration, the school boards. So we're just going to give away power like it's nothing.
Yeah, just giving it away.
It's like earlier, people worrying about who's talking white. What does that do for black people?
But wait a minute, Charles. How can you just say that when you were complaining about education? Explain that.
What? You got what? Can I speak? First of all, if you want to go talk about black people, you talk white. No, you can speak proper English and still be totally black. The people who usually be like, you're talking white, guess what? Should you be around them motherfuckers? Should you be around negative motherfuckers, black or white? Because I'm pretty sure black people, when you heard Malcolm speak, was he speaking like a white man? Or was he speaking with proper English?
He's speaking proper English.
Was Dr. King speaking like a white man, or was he using proper English?
Oh, he's speaking like...
Are we looking at it too deep?
Hold on. I got this. Hold on. Okay, if someone is speaking in clean English...
No, can you answer my question first?
Well,
so why do we connect this bullshit of you have to speak white to be intelligent? See, the problem is we
have a culture, because we got some people who think though the only thing to be black is to speak hood.
Well, number one, you think 90% white anyway because you're in a white goddamn country. There's not much you don't think of the same way as the white person here.
That's not what I said, but go ahead.
No, that's what I said. If I took you over to Africa and have you live their way of life, their culture and everything, are you going to have a culture shock or are you going to feel right at home?
A culture shock just like everybody else would.
So how are you going to speak white when you're just speaking English?
You know exactly
not every
what
black
I mean.
person.
Not
every black person.
The both of y'all are being highly disingenuous on the term about talking white.
Because guess what? You know why they came up with that? Because they thought anybody who speaks properly was speaking white. So what is that person telling you? They think anytime a person speaks with any type of articulation has to be intelligent like whom?
I'm gonna ask you something too. Though, since somebody's name was brought up into this, how are y'all feel about this idea of stalking or taking pictures of people in stores? What's up with that shit?
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about Jay.
I'm having a hard time following right now.
Are you talking about Sympathy and her videos about who they choose?
Yeah. We gonna go there. Let's go there because Cerulean just mentioned her name about 10 minutes ago, so that's why I asked. What is your idea on following people around and taking pictures of them? I'm just saying.
Guys, do you want me to answer that? I'm gonna let y'all answer that.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Who's taking pictures of who? Because
no, come on. Y'all acting clueless. Now go. Let's move on to another topic. Let's just move on to another topic. Y'all acting clueless now.
God damn. Thank you. First and foremost, I actually have a life outside of YouTube, a career. I don't follow every fucking thing somebody does. Hell, there's times I don't agree with other people say. And I sometimes like some of these people. Okay? I don't know who the fuck is taking pictures of whom. So, number one, that's some weird, spooky, fucking weird shit. Number two, so we get it out there. So don't think that I'm all up in contact with every goddamn thing that goes on YouTube. My life is actually pretty precious to me and my time. So, really, you want to say something about it?
I don't even know where that question came from. Like,
yeah, like
I mean, you mentioned the video of that coon in that white girl in that car. That's why you want to mention about that video about that white girl in the car telling that dumb nigga that she dated him, though that would lower her standards and shit. But that was the same series that was a part. That's the reason why I asked you, Cerulean. It was a part of the same series.
Before Cerulean answers this question, on second, Cerulean. So let me ask you a question. Do you agree with that? What she made and state to that black man in that car? Do you agree with every word she said?
The guy's a sorry piece of shit. So I don't know why y'all I don't know why you trying to ask me if I should agree with the white dude with the black man or not.
Simple question. Do you agree with what she said to that black man that her stock is lower being with this type of black man? Do you agree or disagree?
I agree with her on that part.
Okay. And there's more to say about it. Now, in regards to the lady you're talking about, and she has her own platform talking about who they choose and all this nonsense, where it's showing black men with overweight, white, Caucasian women. How she makes her money is her business. How she does it, I'm not here because I have my own content, my own shit to worry about, Big J. So
yeah, but the only reason why I brought it up because Cerulean brought up the video. That's the reason why I brought it up.
Big J, pick it out. So in regards to what you focus on, what she's doing, and think that people should sue her, I'm looking at the comments now where you just wrote that say if people are going to take legal action, good luck. But if they're not, it's not your importance. You should really focus on it. It's content at the end of the day. It's just YouTube. Last my check. When these dudes talk bad about black women, it's not some serious. It's just YouTube, or is it something more than just YouTube? Last my check. Big J, can you answer that?
No. I know what you're trying to do, Gary, because I know that you're the host of here, and I know what your ideology is. So stalking is stalking, no matter what it is. So you can say anything you want to, but I stand on my position. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Good. All right.
So what were you trying to get out of that, asking that question? Because that was out of fucking...
No, the reason why I asked the question because Cerulean brought up the video of that lame-ass nigga, that coon sexual, and that a white bitch was...
So, okay. With the price of tea in China, how?
Video.
Because...
I was making a reference because if he thought that was a good idea on the rest of the video. That's all I was talking about. For the rest of the video.
Here's my shit. Can we stay on topic? Because this off-the-wall shit is very distracting.
Well, I only asked because Cerulean made a reference. I was making a reference about. I was asking about the certain reference he made. That's all.
That reference was like 10 to 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on. Let's go back to the topic then.
Punchline 30 minutes later. It lost its feel.
Because I was waiting for my turn, though, Charles. That's what I was doing, waiting for my turn.
You spoke a few times before that.
Well, hey, you know, I mean, I was trying to get one topic out the way till I get to another topic. So that's all I was doing. So can we get back to the original topic?
All right. Before we continue, let me ask you a serious question, Big J. What is it with you and a lot of dudes have with the lady on YouTube? What is it with? Because I find it very interesting for the last year or two, and I've been following her lately for the last roughly 2 years, right? And before things change up, I can see why she changed up. But I tell most brothers, you gotta see the bigger picture with a lot of consequences, especially her, or what she's trying to accomplish, you know, or what she's trying to obtain. You gotta move at least beyond this. Every person I come across in a certain space, they have to reference this chick's name. And it seems to me that what she's doing is really hurting black men psychologically. And every time when you try to make a move towards a non-black woman, you're going to hear that message in your head. That's the name of cool. It's going to hit you. And it's going to psychologically get you back into your right order to possibly wake your black ass up. And y'all don't like it.
What are you talking about, Gary?
I'm talking that every minute you mention this woman, it bothers you. That's why you mention her. That's why I saw you read in the comments earlier. You mention her. Every dude does this. So I'm
every
dude.
I'm not every dude. I got a different agenda. Well,
your agenda should not be focused on other kinds of credit. It should be on yourself. Can we stay to that? If you're doing something, focus on your agenda.
And when I said let's move on, why y'all still?
All right. So I'm just going to let that out. Call back in, please. Now to other things. Cerulean.
Yes.
One thing, because now we walking away from 2019 and 2020, and you met enough friends and have come across a few enemies. Do you feel moving forward on your mission, what you're trying to accomplish, that, you know, are you going to be more lenient to be, you know, if you're going to deal with anybody, you're going to probably scope and vent them out, or are you going to let time be your factor with anybody you deal with moving forward?
Well, time is the only factor. I mean, you're literally racing against the clock. That's what life is, a race against the clock.
Mm-hmm.
To try to do as much as you can in this lifetime, trying to lessen the burden off the next group that has come through this place.
Mm-hmm. 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 I agree. Time is our only, not our enemy, but our also savior if we utilize it properly. You know, and I feel with most people that we come across, or even ourselves, that either we gonna make use of it or we're just gonna waste it in time. Because, like I said earlier before you came on, that I've learned much this year, and one thing I could pick out is just the people alone. That, you know, everybody has their own agendas and motives. And if it's not to their liking, to what they really want, they come here for, anytime that somebody's here that's trying to do something that is more lasting, that will favor the collective long term, other people are looking for a quicker fix and want something now and something to fill them up in their pockets. Screw everybody else. So it makes me think that the people like yourself, you're more active in the community. Same for Charles FAULKNER. And I question these dudes that talk about this stuff, about a man's purpose and all stuff. It makes me really question that you don't have to talk about what really do in regards to the community, especially with the boys. Because spewing this rhetoric doesn't really help them when you're not even living half better or doing even better as helping not only yourself but the collective.
Especially if they're writing books on fuck shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
You're not writing books, but plagiarizing them, rather.
Even better. You know, it's kind of funny. last time you and I have been on here, what did I say? Solutions based in 2020. You can talk about whatever you want, but you better have a fucking solution behind it. Don't you agree, Cerulean?
Indeed.
I agree.
And what happens is because this is the cardinal sin of black people. We get stuck on the same circular argument all the time. Because if you took drama out the situation, what would you have to speak about?
Nothing.
If you tell a person, well, why am I not attracted to certain women? Have you tried getting a new haircut? Going to the gym? Actually being cordial and not being a dick. Did you walk with some confidence? Change your wardrobe. Improve yourself. Become a learned man. Become a skilled man. Travel the world. Have something interesting to talk about. But this incel culture and those who speak of it, notice they never say you got it. They always want you to save yourself, but never fix yourself, never improve yourself. Because our own self be true. When you're talking about you need to save yourself, you're still black. I even heard somebody on the damn thing yesterday say, for a black man to date a black woman in this country today is a detriment on his life.
Yeah, I heard about that too. That's new. Yeah, that's new.
I'm like, wait a minute. That makes no sense. Because, yeah, you have some fucked up black women out there, but they can't all be bad. So that means you're too lazy to go out there and search for the one that's right for you. Men are supposed to be on that search. They're supposed to be on the journey. Not the goddamn female. If the female ain't about her, leave her the fuck alone. But it's still pussy politics. They have no solution towards what the hell needs to be done. Do you want a family or you just want something pretty on your arm? I even told Edward, well, you know, the guy, the female, I said, guess what? What are you bringing to the table? You want a 9, but you looking like a 3. Come on, man.
Yeah, keep it real. Yeah.
Like, let's live in reality. You can't ask for a 6-figure chick and you making what? $30,000 a year. I say the same thing to a goddamn delusional bitch. Oh, you never go hard. You didn't go hard on the females. What say you, Cerulean?
You notice what it is basically they're putting up this wall of bullshit. All the excusatory reasons for why they don't have to take responsibility, why they don't have to improve, why they are not responsible for their own environment. See, because now I have to take that. Like, so if you got these niggas out here that's saying, "Oh, we just going to keep blaming the white man," then okay, I'll see to that. And if we're going to stop blaming the white man, the only man that we can blame is ourselves as black men. See, that's the only answer. It's the only answer left. It is what we do or do not do. It is either we improve or do not improve. We are responsible for our environment. If that is the case, we are solely responsible for our environment. Any Negro advocating that they are not responsible, we're gonna stop blaming the white man, systemic issues, policy-based issues. If we're not going to take the historical route or even the systematic route or any of those things, the only thing we can say is we can only blame ourselves as men.
Exactly.
Because it was that man. Because this is what the rhetoric is. That man has agency. Is that man not responsible for his community? See, I'm not going to let men get off with this gynocracy scapegoat. If that's the case.
Yeah.
Because they say, you never criticize the women. I'm not a bitch.
Facts.
I don't possess female parts. And because I don't know every woman, because of who I am as a man, I do know men, and I do know what men are supposed to do. I do know how men are supposed to operate, and therefore that is the only perception that I have to judge what this is. So if we're not blaming the white man, we're not blaming the system, we're not blaming systematic issues, structural issues, we're not blaming policy, all we can say is we blame ourselves as men. And I'm not giving men that out. Because you've already said we got to stop blaming the white man. Well, I'm going to say, and just like I'm saying stop blaming the white man, or they're saying stop blaming the white man, I'm saying stop blaming the damn woman. You're blaming the fairer of the damn sexes for your problems. You're responsible for the environment. See, we can only place that squarely on their shoulders.
If you want the power, you got to wear the heavy-ass crown.
But it goes back again, Cerulean. Most of these men, when they have this thinking and this rhetoric, they go for the least resistance, the easy, soft target. And it goes back saying how much a man really are, what your strength is. Instead of going to confront the real enemy, you go for the soft target.
They're too scared of the real enemy.
Yeah.
They'll go and take a submissive role and be a bitch in the white community, be a bitch in the Asian community, be a bitch in the Latino community, be a bitch everywhere else around the goddamn world. You're going to be the Brazilian man's bitch. The Brazilian woman's bitch.
And by the way, I like to say this to that fat 400-piece of double lard who likes to call me a plantation robo. See, number one, my job is to try to help black people and take out whoever's fucking up the community. Your job is to fucking produce milk, you fat cow. See, guys like him who talks about, well, the gynocracy. Is there a gynocracy? Yes, because you allow it to be.
Yeah, weak men are what create the gynocracy.
See, I like that answer, Charles, and that's what they miss. Because you allow it. No one can rule you as a man.
Oh, my God.
One can't pump you.
Oh, my God. You know what off the folder? Oh, but you're an exception. I'm tired of this shit. I want black men to be exceptional again. You know, I want to make a hat that says, make black men great again.
Yeah, somebody make that for real, yeah.
Because you know why? I remember black men who would go out, cut grass all goddamn day if they couldn't find work, collect cans, clean, fix shit, fix cars, do something, start a fucking business, had some fucking ingenuity, had some fucking guts, joined the military, do what the fuck they, and guess what? We're some of the best goddamn soldiers I ever seen. But you get these whiny ass
soldiers on the scene.
Exactly. But you got these whiny ass bitches, these fucking dishonorable discharge bitches who involve themselves in money laundering, trying to bring a hood to a fucking organization when you're supposed to uplift yourself and your people. But can't even use your own goddamn GI Bill for education, can't use your VA for a house, so you married a bitch who doesn't even respect you.
Uh-oh.
But then you want to write a fucking book teaching people about some fuck shit to a fucking incel who couldn't draw flies. I'm scared to leave my house, so I'm going to stay in my aunt's basement for the rest of my life. And then you give them this participation trophy fucking mindset. Instead of telling them, go to school and actually get some fucking talent, you keep encouraging this stupid shit. But then people get mad with us when we fucking come up with an initiative. But remember, for all of you who have daughters, look who the fuck they're going to have children by and marry.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you think you got niggas like me, Max, saying, man, look, we feel bad for the next group of this generation of women.
Yeah.
Because this is what they got to choose from.
Yeah. Bad. It's sad reality, brothers. Let me give the call number again. 712-770-4160. Access code 915-411-pound. I repeat, 712-770-4160. Access code 915-411-pound. Tonight's subject, Chaos Reign presents The Grey Regime with Guest Cerulean Grey. Now to the part that came to my mind, the economic piece. There's been some unknown people through the so-called digital space criticizing other people that knows or has an understanding of economics, what black people should be doing, Cerulean. And I find it amazing that people are taking and agreeing with people that have not shown anything tangible to the community, much less shown that they even using the little degrees they got to help anybody in the community. What do you say about this?
Again, these are dudes that are acting like women, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to know what toxic masculinity is, it's a dude that acts like a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's what toxic masculinity is. Is a dude that is that is operating outside of his masculine nature. Isn't what they complain about what the women are doing? They tout their degrees. Isn't that what the so-called the derelict Negro is? They talk about we're degreed, and we're productive. I mean, isn't it the same thing that the women are saying, right?
Yeah.
You think so just like how the man doesn't give a damn about your degrees, women don't give a damn about the degrees either because, well, the women have degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're black women, they have more degrees than black men. See, we allow it, and we give it a pass for women, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we've historically done that is because we live in a country that has greatly disadvantaged women for so long. And now that the shoe is on the other foot, now mind you, these are all rights and shit that were given to women by men.
Mm-hmm.
And now that, I mean, they only face a fraction, a little smidgen of the way that they've treated women for all these dozens of decades, years, dozens of centuries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, third wave feminism struck off, 4 decades ago? So 40 years. So 40 years they deal with women barking down their neck because they have freedom. They have freedom to refuse. We've created advanced forms of government that protect women from the imposition of rape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now a woman has the freedom to refuse, and if you try to take it beyond her refusal, it's rape. To such point to where you're so scared to even make the approach.
Yeah.
Now the shoe's on the other foot, and you've only been in this position for 40 years, and now you're complaining about it. But mind you, you've run roughshod on them for how many decades, how many centuries, how many millennia?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're mad at your own medicine. Now you're getting a shot of your own medicine.
And kind of think about it, men still got majority of the goddamn power in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because let's just be honest, feminism was created by white men. And it was created by white men to prevent a competing group of men from challenging their power.
Yep. And do you know the white man that created this so-called feminism and taught the first two ladies feminism? I forgot his name. I remember the Peter he gave me. And if you forgot, it was a man that created this thing for this wave to happen. A lot of men don't know this, especially some men of our group don't understand it. They think feminism just came out of nowhere from women. No. It was created by the same competing group of men.
You always got to think about this from a historical stand base when it comes to warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Men are always going to put some objects to keep their power, whether it's feminism, whether it's Jim Crow, whether it's anything. Okay? Why was Jim Crow placed there? to keep certain people down, correct?
Correct.
Same thing with feminism. If we can strengthen this Me Too and have, oh my God, some of these motherfuckers on here who are men saying this is what a feminist look like, you got to be a dumbass. But
yes, obviously they don't know what warfare actually is.
No, they don't. They don't study military science.
Because if you want to blame it on feminism, then you're still blaming it on the competing group of men who created feminism. But you're scared of that goddamn white man. See, it goes back to that white man. Ain't no getting around the competing group of men.
No way getting around
This is what a male feminist look like. No, this is what a man who knows strategy and warfare and knows who our true enemies are looks like.
Yep. See, it's the reason why.
Now that you get a little bit of, white men get a little bad taste in their mouth, of their own medicine. Now all of a sudden they got a fucking problem with it. And there's this derelict Negro male who's never had that power, who's never had the ability to exercise dominance over his own group of women. Not because the women were just obstinate. No. It was because, that white man came with a better deal. Isn't that what the whole SYSBM thing they're claiming? We give, we men to get a better deal somewhere else. How are you getting a better deal when the place you come from is still getting fucked over? Not by women, by the way, but by policy passed by white males. But see, when I go down to City Hall, it goes back to that political thing. Mm-hmm. When I go down to City Hall, I see the halls littered with black women. Mm-hmm. Now I be looking around, looking like, where the fuck is all the niggas at?
Yep. Oh, Cerulean. As you know, that the room is very lit a little bit, slowly but surely, but it looks like people are not taking likely this message. I know some of them probably are black, some of them non-black. They're not liking this right now. They're up here saying this is beyond arrogant. This is no one's calling them out. Listen to those men that. Let me say it. To all you guys that's trying to say you're going your own way, go. Just go. Be happy.
What's stopping you? Or really is it that you really ain't got nowhere to go? And so you just make a veiled threat. See, at some point in time, right? At some point in time, you're going to have to make good on the threat. So if you're going to go your own fucking way, why the fuck ain't you left yet? Otherwise, it's nothing but a veiled threat. And then you wonder why the women still don't take you seriously. They ain't listening to your ass because you ain't been nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. They know you ain't going nowhere.
But Professor, the real reason is because nobody wants their sorry asses.
That's right. This is true.
Yeah, you ever notice the guys who about their shit don't complain about women?
Nope.
Matter of fact,
they embrace the challenge.
You know the old saying, I don't chase them, I replace them. Mm-hmm. See, a lot of motherfuckers, one of the most powerful moments of my life when I open up the door for a female to leave. I'm going home. I open up the door. I can't miss you till you're gone. 15 minutes later, another chick comes. Oh my God! Let's see these saving their black asses do that. Even some of the people I mentored saw that. It was like, wow, you didn't give a damn what she said. Yep, walking like I talk. But see, this is all I like to say is there's a bunch of talk. Mm-hmm. You never heard of Charles Faulkner paying 1 ounce of child support to anybody.
Nope. You never
heard of Charles Faulkner talking about baby mama drama.
Nope.
Shit. People be like, well, she's going to fuck somebody else. Well, keep her. She wasn't mine to begin with. Next.
That's how you look at it.
You don't see me whining about shit. I'll talk about real shit that may get on my nerves, but fuck a whining. Well, these females, guess what? I had to tell one of my homeboys. I said, this is the reason why you don't pay attention to lowbrow motherfuckers. If you hear a female black lady or the other talk some stupid shit, don't even pay it any mind nor energy. Because the most addictive drug to every female is attention. You don't give them any, and you don't even give them power, guess what? They'll fucking change because guess what? They're more affected by the environment than you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. You mean we actually sit and whine and worry about our own selves and improve ourselves and maybe we might get better women? Yes. But how the fuck, once again, you're going to act blue pill for white women, for black, for red pill for fucking black ones? You don't even have a fucking platform to stand on if you're promoting Latina women. And guess what? You get married to her, guess what? If you die or she divorced you, guess what? She's taking that money back. It ain't the black people.
Her nice community. Her nice little suburb, non-black community. Imagine that.
But guess what? Don't think that white woman, that Latin woman, isn't as racist as that white woman.
Mm-hmm.
An Asian culture, if an Asian woman marries a black woman, how the fuck do you think that's the highest quality they got?
Apparently, that is. Apparently, that's what they think.
And
that's
the
very
thing,
few times. Very few times it happens. Go ahead, Cerulean, and Chaos.
Yeah, I think I follow you. But it's like this. And think about the women that, let's say they select, they choose, right? Is now a sister is one that looks as Eurocentric as possible on the average. So obviously you think because this person might be, like you said, Charles Latino, that's no different from that Caucasoid. You know, she's going to take you to the ringer, same way. No different. You know? And if you listen to anybody that's pushing and advocating that that's your solution, you set yourself for a fucking disaster. You know, it's crazy, and it's funny how someone want to exude their so-called false masculinity on the sisters, where they feel that I gotta feel some form of power and control. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to come in your home or in my kingdom, and you do what the hell I say. All that. If not, there's going to be punishment. And usually I should have the right to bust you upside your head. And I said, go ahead. Good luck. Try that Turner. But see what happens. You know? You got to confront that man at the end of the day. And that's why they're getting very pissed. And matter of fact, since I mentioned that, remember the question, Cerulean, a few nights ago? When one dude was so adamant, pressuring the issue about that question about what Miss Shahrazadi wrote in her book?
Yeah.
And you sit there and you tell, Matt, you have to go deep. You just lay it out. Some of the men don't even get that. And it makes me want to say,
like for instance, that's why I had to play that clip of Louis Farrakhan, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, it's easy to point the finger at Shahrazad Ali. I like Shahrazad Ali. The thing is that if you're looking at just that one book of hers and not at her message to the black woman or the guide to dealing with the black man for the black woman, where she goes all the way in, she doesn't hold any bars. She didn't hold any bars for the black woman. She didn't hold any bars for the black man. That's what I was basically making. The point is, if you really want to understand what she's saying, you need both of those books. Because she is specifically taking out, specifically for the woman. And then the other side of that is she's talking specifically for the man. So we're talking about it's on both sides. Well, Shahrazad Ali already addressed both sides back in the fucking 90s.
Yep. One that came out back in late 80s, 30 years ago, and the other one came out early 90s. So actually, to be honest with you, the reason why I don't mention her too much and have no problem with her, because like a woman during her time, she's actually balanced, which a lot of women did not get. You ever notice that, Cerulean? And a lot of men not paying attention. Say, yeah, she wrote that book during her time, but she wrote two books. One dealing with...
you know the funny thing about it, when she wrote the book going in on the black man, she was celebrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
The same collegiate circles where they were saying that all the shit she was saying about black women was false. Whenever she wrote that book in the same manner, addressing the issue with black men, she was celebrated, and what she said about the black man was even worse. As a matter of fact, a lot of what you hear me saying about it's our responsibility. Yeah, it's our responsibility. Shahrazad Ali said that. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing said that. Dr. Amos Wilson said that. Dr. Claude Anderson has said that.
Yep.
Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. has said that.
This is the reason why leadership schools for young men need to be taught, and it starts in the home. Ladies, let your sons make a decision. Let them start with small decisions. Because guess what? He's got to run his own family one day. But the problem with the black community is they don't want to see somebody grow and succeed them. The guys, too. You need to teach your sons how to be leaders. See, the craziest part about it is, why is it cool to speak against black men? Why is it profitable even? But you just heard Cerulean say how funny these so-called intellectual minds raising when she's going at the black man, but it's false about the black woman. You know why? Because too many men are too fucking afraid to step up and tell their fucking story to get their shit together.
You know, what's funny is that the same people that was on Donahue, when she was giving that interview about her book about the black woman, right?
Yeah.
Now, why is it you might be able to find the interview, right? Jesse Lee Peterson touted that book, right? Now, when it was for the black woman, he agreed with it, right? But also, one thing I say about Jesse Lee Peterson, despite he being a coon, he also went right down the middle back in the day. What she was saying about the black men was also true.
And see, the craziest part about it is, notice here on the platforms we're on, we go down the middle.
How do we know this? How we know this is that you can look at the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's book about the message to the black man.
Yeah, which I have.
If you heard the way that he went in on black men, about how disgusting they were. And the problem was that he was not morally upright.
That's I mean so-called scholars and once leaders said this about black men should take responsibility. How many is that now? Isn't that 7? Huh?
Man, look.
I lost count now.
But at the same damn time, you got black women out there talking about they want leaders. There's 3 rules of leadership. Lead, follow, or get the fuck out the way. So the same thing we go on black men, we go on black women. Hell, we go with black children are necessary. If it'll make the community better, if it'll heal all this fuck shit. It's like y'all want to talk about we need people to lead the community. Then shut up and follow. You'll hear the applause when I'm talking about black men need to get their shit together. But when you tell the black woman they shut the fuck up and lead and follow, it goes dead silent.
Yep.
You can't be phony. You got to be realistic. I'm not here to make you feel good.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, exactly. Like whether I agree or disagree, right? That's immaterial because the job at hand is still there. Like, nigga, I mean, are we or are we not still fucked up? So, okay, so how is it that me constantly beating this woman over the head with a bunch of bullshit really is just my pent up sexual aggression because women didn't choose me. They chose this mystical group of imaginary niggas that keeps getting them pregnant, but we can never fucking find them, right?
These Kryptonian niggas.
Why you got these same niggas on here who have abandoned their children?
Ooh.
Literally leading the damn charge on this assault against black folks, specifically black women.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're half a nigga.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, I have a caller. Let me open this line. Caller, open line. Who's this?
Well, hello, guy. I was just about to hang up. Wait till overtime. Good morning, I said good morning. Well, it actually is morning. It's 12 o'clock. How you gentlemen doing? First of all, guy, I would like to, yes, I know Charles Faulkner, so, he know I already say hi to him. But I definitely want to say hi to the special guest tonight. Appreciate you, sir. First of all, I'm going to talk about the things that I agree with you upon, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that I disagree upon. I'm going to try to be clear, and we try to take it as fast as possible, try to be clear and concise. When you was visualizing the city hall, there's no black males. That's a black male responsibility. I totally agree with you. Black males need to come together politically at some point. Not saying we have to come politically or agree politically on every political point, but there has to be some common goal that black males, for the average, not saying as a monolith, because they say, oh, black community is not a monolith. That's a talking point brought down by the right races to stunt our growth politically. Of course, we're not going to have 100%. I just want 99.9. That's still not a monolith. All right? On one political agenda. We have never come together on one political agenda, as far as I know of in black African-American history, as far as males. Look in the 60s, divided from the Nation of Islam y'all was talking about. I'm just listening and observing. Nation of Islam, people followed Martin Luther King, Christian civil rights. You had Black Panther Party. You had the people who went with Malcolm after he died. You had so many other groups, that spark about, about. Oh, you even have the Hebrew Israelites. They're growing up. Believe it or not, their numbers are growing, surprisingly. We're divided. We can be divided religiously. But a common goal politically as black African-American males, that when our grandfathers fought in every war, no one would have their rights to immigrants if we didn't receive our rights first, if we didn't shed blood for this country first. We're going to have to come together politically on something. I'm not talking about what type of woman you should be with. That's personal. I'm not going to tell another man who to sleep with or should he stay in that house with her for the rest of his life. It's personal. I'm not up to that. I say to each his own on that. But black men have to be strong politically on something. We're going to have some common ground. We have the internet. We can connect. Millions of black men can connect instantly right in this nation, and we're playing games, soap opera shit. Another point, and I believe that men does dictate the chaos in its environment. So if there's chaos in the black African community, the men are responsible for it. I'm just saying the control aspect. Now, I know people are going to talk about the black, white man, all this. Listen, stop giving me the giving. Stop giving me the women's moves and not telling me your counter moves. And stop bitching and moaning. I hear black men say, I'm the alpha male, but they're bitching and moaning about women. Okay, you gave me the giving. The white man gave her everything. I agree with the black men now. How could our grandfathers, or us even as far as some of us in, 40, 30, 35 and over black males, how could we compete with the government when it comes to housing our women and our children? They can house our women, they can feed our women, they can support our children on the government system. How can a black man compete against the government when he's being discriminated on jobs? I know I hear a lot of black men say, black man, get lazy. Oh, I forgot one other group that was divided in the 60s. The niggas in the hood, the hoodlums. Guess what their political philosophy is? I don't want to work around no white man, because when I go work around a white man, I'm just talking about back then. I'm not talking about these niggas now, because I'm talking about when we were divided in the 60s. That's a major critical point. I don't want to work around no black man. He don't pay me enough. He treat me like shit. I don't want to do that. I'm in the inner city. They giving all the jobs in the cities to these immigrants that's coming over here. Now I'm bored home. Now I sell drugs. Now I get high. White man fired me, messer. I don't know. I'm just going. I'm not giving an excuse. I'm giving a reason. And the excuse is false obstacles okay. To prevent. Hold up, brother. Let me finish. I'm almost finished. Let me end it up. I know you got your other callers. You said I was waiting, but I can hang up. I want to get me out, and I want to tell the guy what I disagree with, and I'll listen to him. Excuses is bringing up false barriers to prevent you suffering in the future. They don't fucking exist, like the brother said, that false white man. Another thing I agree with you, brother, is black man keeps on blaming it on black woman. Oh, the source of it is the white man. This is the macho man's thing. The elephant in the room is the black male and the white male is still jockeying for position. They don't not want us, the black male, to be successful, generally holding up strong families, because that's going to bring his family and his group up. I understand that. But this is what I totally disagree with, brother. When I keep on hearing that you say that women are, I guess, they don't control their environment. No, they're a part of the environment. That's all they are. They're a part of the environment. And I think showing them that we're strong men is that if we can come together as men, cohesiveness, and stop bitching and moaning and saying these are what these black brothers are doing together, I'm saying a consensus of all those groups. If you don't get all those political different groups, even the niggas in the hoods, because see, the niggas in the hood help some people out, cameras on police, so they can be political when they want. Hear me out. I'm not giving nobody no pass, no crime, no murders. I'm not giving them no pass. But when shit happens, when they get mad, they do some justice the legal way, marching and shit like that. I'm not excluding riots. When other groups come together, the Nation of Islam, they can protest and get 1 million people to go to Washington. You got the black conscious community. They can have big conferences. I'm saying set aside our differences and be military-minded on certain issues politically in this country. If not, the women are going to follow the white man. And what I'm saying is, think about 2008, when black people were in unison. One time that I can put down that we were in, one time that I can remember, we were in unison for a goal. We was racist. We was thinking about our people. I'm not talking about Obama was a pawn. I'm not talking about when he was black. I'm not talking about he didn't do nothing with white people. But what I'm talking about is black people was agenda to get that black man and people registered to vote. They came out like never before, and we was all in one same spirit. That's what I'm saying. It can be done, because I'm done after this. Because even Republicans who did not like Obama, such as Sarge, voted for him the first time. So we set aside our petty differences and we focus on one mission. That's all I got to say, and I'll mute myself and listen to y'all.
Hold up. Before you speak, I got to ask you a question. Are you still listening?
I'm here, Charles.
How are you going to ask black people to do that white people don't even do? They're not always in unison. They don't always agree.
Okay. Right. I know that's it. But I understand that. But I'm saying what you just said is another. That's a strong man's argument, Charles.
No, but I get what he's saying.
Let me stop you. Your debating skills is a little immature. You use a strong man's argument. Hold up, brother. Hold up, brother. I understand that. Listen, brother.
Do something no other race of people have done.
Okay. This is the problem.
Even if they have a political agenda, there's still going to be certain differences, right? Listen
to me. Okay, yes, but you did not give my example. Listen to my example. Black Republicans and black Democrats totally disagree. Black man don't work, black man don't eat. And Republicans, help out my black cousin that's on drugs, Democrat. They came both together, set their citizens aside, and they said, we're going to get Obama in. 96% all black vote the first time, 94%. That's what I'm saying. You're giving me saying, watch this straw man argument. I'm not finished. You should start, listen, come on, brother, you're in the military and you're thinking weak. I'm saying,
no, I'm not thinking weak. You're not thinking at all.
To me,
that's
brother.
The problem. That's not every black people traditionally do not vote.
I'll fall back. I'll fall back.
So you're telling us that all these people who have all these differences, who are other races of people.
Okay. Strawman, listen, I'm talking about, hold on. Right now, Mr. Faulkner, Mr. Faulkner, right now, we're talking tribal. We're talking tribal politics about black people. I do not want to talk about what other people's groups do at this point. When we're talking about can we come as a common goal?
Black people always came together common goals.
Okay. I'm trying to explain my thesis and my concept to you. Listen.
You ever heard of that?
It is proven that we came on one goal before, factually, politically. Hold on, listen. When I say, can we set our political or our religious beliefs aside and come together and say, can we have an agenda on one accord and fight that? Have it be a measurement. And he comes back and says, how can you say that? Well, guess what? Listen. I'm going to tell you why we have to do it, Mr. Faulkner. If you stop cutting me off.
And do you stop the mission?
Okay, guys. I'll wait for the overtime, guys. I'll wait for the brother. Nice guess for you. You was a nice guest.
You don't have everybody on the court.
No.
People go by.
Okay.
You stop the plan because everybody doesn't agree.
Okay.
No.
But, okay, so what are you here saying to me? You want everybody to hear you.
You're telling me,
man,
right?
let me go. I'm going to go, yo. I'm going to go. Yo. This is alpha male-ish. This is bullish alpha male-ish. Alpha male, I'm a beta male. He's dictated. He's acting animalistic now. He's running me out. He won't let me get a word in edgewise.
It's not my fault that you do not like being a man. Because you're going to come out with the alpha male. I'm not cool. I don't give a damn if a guy calls himself alpha, beta, sigma, whatever.
Listen, brother guest, he's getting me back from the last time we have a conversation. He's getting me back.
I'm not getting you back from nothing.
This is why he won't let me. Brother to brother, I understand his frustration with me, brother to brother. So that's what I'm not mad at Charles Faulkner. I'm not mad at Mr. Faulkner.
See, this is the factoid of the matter. You think that you're having some type of intellectual epiphany when all you have is some disingenuous bullshit.
Wow, he's upset from last time.
I'm not upset about last time.
He won't even let me get it out. You want this one. You got me, yo. Hey, yo, you got me, yo.
Get on a political agenda.
You got me, yo. You got me, Mr. Faulkner.
Guess what? We've always been on the political agenda. But first of all, if you actually read the Gray-Faulkner Initiative, you start small and aim big.
Oh, God.
How many people you got on the school board? Hell, how many people you got to a goddamn PTA meeting?
Oh, you want me to tell you my past? Oh, you want me to tell you my past now? Now you're going to try to check. Hold on.
No,
Mr. Faulkner. Hold on, Mr. Faulkner. I'm not going to go through this. If you're not going to, now, right now, who's acting like a woman? Everyone knows look. He's cussed me out. He took shots. Now, I want to defend myself. He won't give me. Who's that? You asked me a question 5 minutes ago, and I haven't answered it with.
And I answered it. I said you.
Brother, guest, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you talking one veteran to another veteran, or whatever. I think you said you was in the Marines. I don't know. But, you know what I mean? Appreciate you. Thumbs up. I'll talk to you later, man. You got me back, Charles. You got me back. Appreciate it, y'all.
Never had me to get you back. All right. That's the funny part.
Thank you.
See, this is the creative part. When people say there's a 2/3 policy, you don't expect everybody to agree with you. Does that stop the mission, Chaos and Cerulean?
Nope.
Negative.
So guess what? Stop this fucking bullshit of having this merry-go-round dream. See, that's the problem. When we get enough numbers, we're going to start this revolution.
They're waiting for Jesus. That's that Jesus talk.
Stop. See, that's my shit with black people. Stop waiting until you get the numbers. Oh, thanks, man. Stop waiting for the numbers to get right and get right now. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the problem. We need to get all these black people. Appreciate it. We need to get all these black people together so we can get this. Number one, you get enough black people, you start. First of all, it starts with being a good damn parent and teaching your children correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, it starts with your educational system. Then you can match. Then you can match every goddamn thing else.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be worried about when we get the numbers. Thanks. First and foremost, when you actually start your initiatives, you drive on. Thanks. Could do some welding with this motherfucker. About to light me up a cigar. You know, some manly us that people don't understand. See, what kind of time was on? It's Cohiba. Got this goddamn Cohiba by my partner. Thanks, man.
Cuban, I thought, is that Cuban Gillis?
No, it is Cuban. Cohiba's a Cuban.
No, but no, the ones you made.
All right, Charles.
Pardon me for a minute. I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah, all right. You know, I'm not taking no more calls, but one thing to wrap up. Come close to the end. Certainly there?
I am here.
All right. You said about this new budget going now on the 2020. Is there any way you can give the people that's listening now a little sample of what is the budget moving in 2020 in regards to where the money's going?
I'm going to discuss that coming into the new year.
Okay. When are you going to go back and do live streams? Because people don't know.
I'll decide after the new year. I'll make a determination whether it may be the second week because this, the first lands in the middle of the week. So, we'll be celebrating the new year, and next week we'll come back with the 2020 fiscal year budget.
Okay. But normally, since the government's already spending most money on the areas like military and other things trickle down, I foresee there's no change moving on next year. Since most of the money budget goes into things that really need to sustain this country as military. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So, I guess everything has been, all questions have been answered. Nothing is left unscathed during 2019 now. And like I said, going into the new decade and the so-called new year, I mean, anything that was left behind will stay behind and 6 feet under in the dirt, for lack of a better term. Any final word or message you want to leave for our people tonight? Okay. One thing I will say, because I've been following you and knowing you now for over a year, actually over a year and a half now, because I think when I came across you was with the likes of YouTubers like, I think the lady that, Mr. Big JB referenced. I came across you and being around you now for over a year now and a few months that, I see the growth in you. And one thing I've learned so far that you're very consistent than everybody else that I come across, which is a very good thing. Because all these other males, these derelict males, we want to label them, they are very inconsistent. They're so inconsistent now that you don't know what direction they want to take it. One day they're this, Next day they're this, and the other day they're this. And it makes you wonder, what is real? And I hope that people will pay attention mostly if you're following anybody instead of not learning. You should pick on these things. That's my advice I would give anybody that sit there in any space or try and look for new information. These are things you should be paying attention anyway. As me, I try as best as possible to be consistent. And going on to next year, they'll probably know different. They might be maybe a little changes, but we shall see. We shall see. If you don't mind, sure, tell everybody where they could find you.
Find me on Cerulean Grey on YouTube. You can also find us on Grey Regime Gaming, which is also on YouTube.
Okay. Excellent. And I know the gaming channel is very popular as well. People can learn certain things while they're watching the Grey Regime blow funny little objects through the virtual space. Yeah, follow me. Let me see if I can find Charles Charles Newton stuff. He gets the picture. All right.
I'm back.
Oh, you back? You have any final words, Charles Faulkner Jr., the other part of the Grey Regime?
It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Chaos, and also the Professor Cerulean Grey as always.
Indeed.
And 2020 is going to be solution-based. No more of this whining and crying, problem-solving, and solution-making. Woo!
Woo!
Hoorah. As always, it has been a pleasure, esteemed Chaos Ring. I'd like to say salute to the nation.
Yes, salute to the nation. Well needed. Thank you again for everybody for listening to tonight's broadcast. Be on the lookout for the next stream. Always, comment, subscribe, and like this video. And, follow me on Twitter at ChaosReign7. And in the coming next streams, I will disclose all other links. You could also find me and listen to all other podcasts from Chaos Reign channel. Thank you again. Good night.
Comment, subscribe, and like the channel. And follow me on Twitter at ChaosReign7. And like always,
Let the chaos reign.